Good morning. How are you? So I think everything again is going to be delayed. I'm pulling off of my phone's hotspot, so the spinning's taking longer. I know comments aren't coming through, and so therefore it's just much slower. So have patience. I will get back with you in the comments. Today has a lot of questions, so a lot of room for engagement. So no, I will go back and I will engage at the latter part of today and connect with you. So answer the questions. So say hi when you're logging on. What's it called? If you're watching in replay, hashtag replay. And like I said, answer questions, engage along the way, because I'm going to come back and engage with you. Others engage with you, and we will be able to work together even in the altered state. So yes, I'm still traveling. You can see a different angle of the same office from yesterday. And I was telling my friend Brenda, who this is her office, we used to be administrative assistant, and I organized her. Like hyperventilating in the room because the organization is gone as I am no longer her boss. But it's all good. It's all good. So I also to say happy birthday to Patty, who is on here. Patty is one of my absolute oldest friends, and today is her birthday. And I won't tell you very specifically what birthday it is, but happy birthday, Patty. So y'all can say happy birthday, Patty, and what's it called? She'll replay a little bit later. So happy Wednesday. Here we are halfway through the week. This is crazy. It is our last live for this week. Tomorrow is that very specific court hearing that has yet to be canceled, but the last time it was canceled at 3 o'clock the day before. You could be praying for dear friends that a horrific accident will finally, all of the situations will be behind them, and they can move forward. So today is the last live for this week. We will be back to normal on Tuesday, back to my garage studio, and on track for just normalcy. Okay. Well, we're in a series of influential relationships, and yesterday, the influence of others, they are in our lives and how they are in our lives. So today, we're going to talk about your influence on others. Key things. So there's going to be a couple of moments here where you may be like, getting some hard details and hard facts put together. All right, you may be thinking hard about some of your questions and the people around you and the people you influence, and wondering if there's something you're looking for differently and you want to be different for others. So that's what we're going to talk about. Like I said, today is filled with questions to make you think. So particularly since I'm not engaging live, it'll probably be a little bit shorter of a live. Feel free to watch it multiple times because there's a lot of questions for you to think through. So the first time around, you may need a second time around. It's all good. It's short, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's what we're going to dig into. We're going to talk today very specifically on your influence on others. Okay, it's truly a key aspect of talking about influential relationships. So let me start here. All right, it's not just that you are influenced by others. Okay, you truly do become the company you keep. It is so key to know that you become the company you keep. So like we've talked about, like one bad apple really does convert the crop to all bad apples. What's it called? But, right, one good apple can really bring light and darkness into this. And I know I totally messed up that whole analogy. It's okay, I do that all the time, so it's no big deal. But that's the truth of the matter. Of like, do you want to be a spark that starts a fire? Okay, or do you want to be the rotten apple that like corrupts everybody and really turns everybody rotten? What do you want to be? So we're going to dig through that for just a few minutes today. Like I said, lots of questions and for you to really think about, okay? Very, very personal aspect of it today. And I really want to hear what you're thinking. I want you to ask questions of yourself, and if you have questions of me, ask them in the comments. I want you to share where you think you're at. Like, do you think you are the best influence? Like, I can tell you, as I look at my life, there are many, many things I can think I am a solid influence on other people in that area. Trust me, there are many things that I step back and go, ooh, I did not influence that very well, or I am not the best influence in this area, and step back. And that's a key thing to know, right? And it changes. Sometimes if you're not going through something yourself, you can totally be a great influence. But if you are going through a hardship, right, it will affect the influence, particularly if it involves that topic that you're going through the hardship of, right? You're going to affect the influence that you have on others. So it's real key to understand that. So let me ask you, are you the person that that you would want to surround yourself with? Are you the person that you would want to surround yourself like do you wish, like, gosh, I feel, and we're not talking about ego here, okay? We're talking about realism, because this is real essential to know. You should know where you are strong and where you are weak, because that's how you can go out and serve and help and grow others, right? So I'm not looking for like, oh yeah, I totally definitely would want to surround myself with 100 of me. That's not what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about, how helpful are you? Are you an encourager? Are you a good listener, right? Do you make people smile? Do you feel like people are so comfortable that they can totally open up to you? Those are the things that we're talking about. Not, pat myself on the back, I'm a fantastic person, but just recognizing, what kind of person are you? I talked a little bit yesterday, and I've talked about it. Well, if you're in the annual program, the Intentionally Doing program, this past week, the lesson was specifically on the influence of others, as we were in how to be intentional in your mindset. So I shared a little bit of a story there, as well as talking about where you're at in your own pace, and shared about myself. So like I said, recognizing where you're strong and where you can help and where you can be a good influence is not the same as like giving yourself like amazing praises. Okay, totally different. Recognize that. So it's okay to know you have strengths. It is okay. It is not okay to be obnoxious about knowing you have strengths. There's a difference. So, okay, what type of person are you? How do you influence others? Are you the person you would want to surround yourself with? Key question. So, what's it called? Think about how others connect with you. Okay, this is kind of an interesting part. When you look at the groups of people you're connected with, right? And we're all involved in multiple groups, right? Do you find within your groups that you have common enemies or common likeness? And I want you to put your answer in the comments for that. Do you have common enemies or common likeness? Now, it's not abnormal for us to have, some groups where like, yeah, we all dislike the same thing, right? But we're trying to change something about it. You may find that in the political arena, small politics or big politics. You may find that as families are going through things, right? All of a sudden you're kind of partnered up with someone you didn't ever imagine you'd be partnered up with, in that capacity. And situations look like you have common enemies. And what that really is like you share something negative in common. That's not uncommon at all. How many times can I use the word common, right? That's not a rarity. It's actually frequent in our lives that we find ourselves in places where we have common dislikes. But, and here's the other part of that question, is I asked you, do you have common enemies or common likenesses? I'm going to come to the common likenesses in a minute. Here's the question. Within those groups, right, these common negatives, within those groups, are you focused on the negative, and are you feeding the negative? What kind of influence are you? Are you focused on all the horrible things that is happening or that has happened or that someone is doing, right? And are you feeding it? Are you egging it on within the group? Okay? What kind of influence are you having? Or are you the lone person out there who's like, no, we can help, we can do something about this, we can change the perspective, we can change the situation, and you're trying to get the group to come along with you, right? It's hard to do when you're the lone person. So many times in this situation, maybe we're not egging it on, but we're focused on the negative, right? One doesn't have to be complicit to the other. You may not be egging the problems on or growing the drama, but you may still be focused on the negative. So what's going on in these groups, right? If you have common negatives, common enemies for so say, and it could be, like I said, the circumstance is your enemy, not necessarily a person, but a person as well, right? Are you focused on the negatives and are you feeding the drama? Important questions, okay? And why? Why are you doing one versus the other, right? Are you feeding the drama because like you just have great high on drama? Some people do, okay? Are you focusing on the negative because it's so hard for you to see a silver lining? Some people do. Think about the why. Why are you focused where you're at? Okay. Is your circle the majority of your people, or another circle, right? We just talked about one with common negatives. Is your circle more about the positive things in life? Maybe a different circle, right? You can find encouragement, just plain old goodness, progression, like life progression, career progression, project progression, whatever that is, right? Inside your circle of goodness and positive things, are you finding these things, and are you them? Are you the one that comes in the group and goes, oh, I don't think I can do that. Oh, I'm not sure we should do that. Oh, I think that's a bad idea. Are you the one who comes into the group and is like, let's go. Like, I'm up, I'm ready, let's move it, let's run after this because I am ready. What kind of person are you? What influence are you in this group? With the common negatives and with the common positives, what type of influence are you? Okay. What about those outside these circles? So just the people who are not necessarily like your closest groups or your work groups or things like that. What about the people you just pass on the street, right? The person who's online in front of you at the grocery store and has 10 billion coupons, right? Are you like, let's go, I've got places to be? Are you just like, man, I'm just going to hang out here. It's all good. No problems. Don't worry. Look, you got one item. I know I've been waiting an hour. Go ahead, go in front of me. What kind of person are you? Okay. Think about the influence that you have outside of that. Okay. That cashier who's had a super, super long day and is having a really hard time holding it together and just being like, hi, how was your day today? Like you can just see, hi, how was your day today? Because she has to say it, right? Are you the type of person who goes, fine, whatever, or ignores her question whatsoever? Or are you the type of person, you know what, it's been a really good day, and you just start talking about good things to make that other person feel good, okay? Do you seek kindness out of people, and do people seek kindness out of you? How's that going? How's that influence going? Like I said, a lot of questions today for you to think about. And I don't just want simple, placate answers. I want you to really think about these things, right? Are you the type of person who's going to vent, okay, and let them vent with you and let an issue grow? Are you the type of, and egg on anger, or are you the type of person who's going to be like, hey, I know that, but let's look for the silver lining. Let's look for the big cloud blessings, right? Let's look for what the goodness is. I can't tell you how many times my friends, now remember I was director of women's ministry, so you may be like, well, that's kind of your job to look for the good in people. Yeah, it was, it was my job, but like I said, it's really who I've been since I'm, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. So that's always been a part of me. But taking the time to be like, and that could drive my friends crazy. So what good came out of it? And they're like, we hate you right now and don't want to talk about what good came out of it. And I'm like, okay. And still you're talking to me. So what good came out of it? Because you really do want to talk about that, right? They would seek me out. So what kind of influence are you? Okay. Like I said, are you that person who's like, yeah, vent to me. Oh, yeah, oh, you're right. They should never have done that, right? Are you the type of person who's going to be like, all right, so, at least this happened, so that's good, right? Are you looking for that kindness? What type of influence are you? Okay, so that is a big key factor in how you influence others, right? What are you driving them to? Are you driving them to greater drama, greater angst, greater anger? Or are you driving them to concede, yeah, that happened, but some good things happened today too. And driving them into the light, right? How do you influence others? Like I said, this is really what I want you to think about today. You've got 5 days because we're not going to have a live until Tuesday. I want you to spend that 5 days really going over this and sending me messages. Write in the comments, or you can send me direct messages. If you don't hear back from me and you've never sent me a direct message before, in the comments, write sent you a direct message. Because sometimes they go into another box and you don't see them. But anybody who has ever sent a direct message before, you're good. Send me a message. Answer these questions. I really, really want to know how you influence others. And here's the other thing, right? As you're thinking about that, like, we recognize our first instincts is that, like, no, we're good, but thinking about it and digging deep and getting into it, I want you to find out, okay, what's it called? If you're feeling like, yes, I feel like I'm a good influence, or I'm uncertain if I'm a good influence, or I'm a good influence in some areas, maybe not the best influence in other areas, right? I want you to think about what you can do about that. How can you change? Like we all have this great desire, right, for everybody to want to be around us because they're happy around us. Like, well, what can you do? That's part of influence, okay? If you are a negative influence, you're going to draw all the negative people, all the drama people. Let me tell you, there's a much better way. Peace is so much better than drama. Every day of the week, you can throw like 10 hearts up there if you totally agree. Peace is so much better than drama. What kind of influence do you want to be? So, okay, so as you're thinking about it, I want you to think how you can be encouraging to others. I want you to think how you want to be encouraged, because that goes a long way, right? We're really not, we're different from each other, but we're really not all that different from each other. What direction do you want to be moving in? Like, what forward progression do you want in your life, in your ability to influence others? And then one step at a time, change, okay? Start with attitude, move to an action, and quite possibly change those who are influencing you, and you may find yourself influencing others differently. Okay, so that's what I wanted to dig into today. Like I said, there's a lot of questions in here, so go back, watch again. It's 17 minutes. You can get back in here, you can watch it again, think about the questions, pause, stop, write them down, whatever. But really take this as an opportunity to really look at how you are influencing others. That is such a key aspect to the success of your life, right? What do others think about you? How you influence others is how they think about you. And who doesn't want to be thought of fondly? So, letting you have that little bit of jewel, run with it. Go ahead and grow upon that. Share what you're thinking with me and connect with me over that, and I am going to gladly connect back with you. And like I said, throw a whole bunch of hearts up there if you agree that peace is better than drama every day of the week. Okay, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Please take a minute and pray for my friends, the McDonald's, as pray this hearing actually happens like it's supposed to tomorrow. And then pray for God's will and success in this hearing as well. And I will see you guys on Tuesday, back to normal, totally normal. If you guys are engaging along the way, I'm totally engaging back with you. So I will talk with you then. Have a great rest of the week and a weekend.